mass incarceration, a term that echoes through the halls of justice and reverberates in the lives of millions. Today, we delve into the complex web of the prison industrial complex, racial disparities, and systemic oppression. Is mass incarceration the new Jim Crow? Let's uncover the truth. What if I told you that in the United States, more people are behind bars than in any other country in the world, and that these numbers disproportionately affect Black and brown communities? This is not just a statistic. It's a reality that affects families, communities, and our society as a whole. Mass incarceration refers to the substantial increase in the number of people incarcerated in the US over the last 4 decades. In the 1970s, the prison population stood at roughly 300,000. Today, that number exceeds 2.3 million. This drastic increase is largely attributed to the war on drugs, mandatory minimum sentences, and 3 strikes laws, which disproportionately target marginalized communities. Racial disparities in incarceration are stark. While Black Americans represent roughly 13% of the US population, they account for nearly 40% of the prison population. This systemic inequality stems from deep-rooted institutional racism. The legacy of Jim Crow laws still echoes today. The criminal justice system, in many ways, perpetuates a cycle of disenfranchisement and poverty for people of color. Understanding these issues is not just about statistics, it's about real lives. It's about families torn apart and communities devastated. Are we witnessing a new form of systemic oppression? The prison industrial complex refers to the network of private prisons, corporations, and government entities that profit from incarceration. This system incentivizes locking people up instead of rehabilitation. Former inmates often describe a system more focused on profit than justice. It's a cycle of exploitation that traps individuals and families for generations. But there is hope. Across the nation, grassroots movements are challenging the status quo. Organizations like the NAACP and the ACLU are leading the charge for reform. From decriminalizing marijuana to advocating for fair sentencing laws, change is possible. Communities are coming together to reclaim their narratives and fight for a just system. The question remains, is mass incarceration the new Jim Crow? As we continue to confront these challenges, we must remain vigilant and advocate for a system that truly serves justice. The fight is far from over, but together, we can create a future where equality prevails.